Hey guys, welcome back to Resistance Chicks. Lee, I'm going to have you scoot over to center. Oh, she's petting the dog with her foot. Alright, so without further ado, while Leah is petting the dog with her foot, we're going to go straight to President Trump's State of the Union address. We have been waiting for this. It was canceled. Nancy Pelosi said no. Trump said yes. Nancy said no. Trump said yes. And so now we're back a little bit late, but here we go. Let's see what they have going on. I think right now we're still in some sort of meet and greet phase. Here, there's Ted Cruz. Let me go ahead and pull you guys up and share this in a couple of places.
Need this thing here. You're standing on. Here we go. Now that's better.
Leah, you're not going to be able to see who's there while I share this on Twitter and Facebook.
I'm not going to be able to see.
You could pull them up there if you wanted. See who's meeting and greeting and comment on what the goings on.
I don't need to comment on them as they come in. It's like silly. I'm going to comment on what I want to comment on.
What do you want to comment on?
Well, there was an MS-13 gang member who killed somebody on a train in New York. That needs to go away.
What?
And the MS-13 gang member is from, well, I know it happened either from or Ocasio's district, or it happened in Ocasio's district. Either way, liberals let this gang member go.
Wow.
I don't have my patriotic jewelry on.
Aww.
I have my Trump pin on though.
From Gary. Thank you, Gary.
So we finally figured out who gave us the hats.
Yeah, so, Kim's dad. Thank you, Kim and Kim's dad.
Kim's dad. You guys are
awesome.
The bombs. Michelle sported her hat most of the day today. We went over to a different side of town. And here's the thing. I don't want to wear something that is going to blatantly just stick out like while I'm shopping.
Right.
Just to
hurt people or offend people or whatever.
And some people just take things the wrong way.
Right.
Oh my gosh, that's something funny to tell you guys. So, we're getting some frames, because we have some Founding Father quotes we want to frame and hang up on our little walls.
In our studio, which is this close to being done.
And Michelle just burst out laughing. And I don't know what she's laughing. Like, she just burst out laughing.
I did.
And I knew it had to be really funny for that kind of laugh to come out. And then, I don't know, 5 minutes later, I look over and I burst out laughing. She didn't tell me what it was. I was like, oh my word. So we're at the, it's not a Goodwill, it's called St. Vincent.
It's a secondhand shop.
Secondhand shop, finding good little treasures there. And,
tell them the funny, real quick.
Up in the back, there's a Michelangelo statue.
No, David.
David statue. David's naked. Not in St. Vincent.
They put a
big old piece of yellow. He got the skirt on. It was so funny.
It was awesome.
But it was like right up there. It wasn't like in the back of the store. It was like right at the front of the store. Right. It was. It looked like it should have had caution tape. It would have been.
So Lee and I were trying to discuss like how long are these things. I don't remember the last one. How long it was.
5 hours and 45 minutes and 76 seconds.
No, it wasn't that long.
Since the thing is 36 seconds.
Because there is. That's 60 seconds plus 16.
Well, you couldn't say that. You couldn't say 5 hours, so many minutes.
No, because then it would be 6 hours.
I had on that shirt yesterday. What is wrong with white outfits today?
Your white outfit?
I got cool things to be wearing.
No, you look cool.
And you know what? I do have something on. This is what I need for the State of the Union.
It wasn't that long. Y'all need Jesus.
This is from for this shirt. I love this shirt.
So I'm gonna look at. It's so weird because I was pulling up pictures for the thumbnail, and it was Paul Ryan.
All your patriotic stuff.
This jewelry is from Marlene.
I meant to wear my Marlene.
Anyhow, and so you've got Paul Ryan and Mike Pence, and now you have Nancy Pelosi and Mike Pence, which I think is hilarious.
Betting. I don't do drinking games, but for every time I end up in the hospital. For every time Nancy Pelosi plays with her teeth, you have to take a drink of water.
I don't have a drink of water. Oh my god.
We're gonna
We need to
need
go get one.
about 5 gallons.
Yeah, probably.
Well, that's one of the last one. I think it would be better for her to take him out,
I agree.
but she probably didn't, and yeah.
Here he is, the man himself.
Hail to the chief, he is the chief, he is our leader. Hail to the chief, he is the chief, he is the man. Michelle made up words because there's no words to hail to the chief, are there?
I think there are. I don't know what it is though. He's just yeah, because then it's he's our leader, right?
Why aren't they playing that? They should. I think.
You know,
I
and
think the entrance should be like, every marriage has the.
So what I'm gonna do is I need to go get my phone so that I have the chat available. Cause that's what I need to do.
Bernie Sanders, there he is. We want to text y'all 70%. AOC, you down with AOC? Yeah, you know me.
Okay.
And then we got the women in white. You know what? You do know that KKK is white, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, no.
She's kind of giving the slanty eye.
We got Ben Carson there. Benny. I believe that's Ben Sass next to Marco Rubio. And then there's Trump's chief of staff. Forget his name. He goes through so many people. Okay, we go. Shh. Quiet on
Thank you
set.
very much,
Thank you very much.
Madam Speaker, Mr. Vice President, members of Congress, the First Lady of the United States.
Oh, Nancy's standing.
They all wear white, so she wears black.
I think that's probably blue.
Well, it probably is a shade of blue. All right, I'm having issues here.
And my fellow Americans, we meet tonight at a moment of
Water.
unlimited
She's
potential.
trying not to.
As we begin a new Congress, I stand here ready to work with you to achieve historic breakthroughs for all Americans. Millions of our fellow citizens are watching us now gathered in this great chamber, hoping that we will govern not as two parties, but as one nation.
Here we go, standing, and then half the crowd,
But how do you not stand for being one nation? Because that's important. We're not talking about building a wall.
I want you to take note that Ruth Bader Ginsburg is not here tonight. No one has spotted her in over a
The
month.
agenda I will lay out this evening is not a Republican agenda
Oh, I'm going to turn this up.
Here
or
she
a
goes.
Democrat agenda.
Sorry.
It's the agenda of the American people. Many of us have campaigned on the same core promises to defend American jobs and demand fair trade for American workers, to rebuild and revitalize our nation's infrastructure, to reduce the price of health care and prescription drugs, to create an immigration system that is safe, lawful, modern, and secure, and to pursue a foreign policy that puts America's interest first. There is a new opportunity in American politics if only we have the courage together to seize it.
And, okay, looking
White,
around,
these women in white are killing me.
you have to know when to clap and when not to clap.
Yeah, you have to look at your contemporaries.
Victory is not winning for our party. Victory is winning for our country.
That should be bipartisan.
So many Catholic church service.
Up and down, up and down.
I think we've got some.
See the women in the white,
Some of
and then the front, they didn't stand because they didn't see that the women behind them were standing.
This year, America will recognize two important anniversaries
I wanna
that
see the
show us
kneel,
the
too.
majesty of America's mission and the power of American pride. In June, we mark 75 years since the start of what General Dwight D. Eisenhower called the Great Crusade, the Allied liberation of Europe in World War II. On D-Day, June 6, 1944, 15,000 young American men jumped from the sky and 60,000 more stormed in from the sea to save our civilization from tyranny. Here with us tonight are three of those incredible heroes. Private First Class Joseph Riley, Staff Sergeant Irving Locker, and Sergeant Herman Zajcek.
Oh, it's so great. That's me. That's me. Love that president.
Oh my gosh. If anybody doesn't stand for our vets, they better be disabled themselves. That guy is so happy to be there. Oh my gosh. If you haven't seen it, I can't even get up. It's so great.
Yeah. He's looking pretty good, man.
I know.
Got a lot of energy, less funk.
That's really awesome.
Gentlemen, we salute you. In 2019, we also celebrate 50 years since brave young pilots flew 250,000 miles through space to plant the American flag on the face of the moon. Half a century later, we are joined by one of the Apollo 11 astronauts who planted that flag, Buzz Aldrin.
Huh.
Buzz. That tie. That's something else.
That is a nice tie.
Everybody's got to stand. Even the military guys try to stand for Buzz.
I'm gonna go get that on.
Thank you, Buzz. This year, American astronauts will go back to space on American rockets.
This year, Americans are going back to space on American rockets.
We're gonna have a daggum space army, man.
Here we go. Come on, guys. You don't have to stand for everything.
In the 20th century, America saved freedom, transformed science, redefined the middle class, and when you get down to it, there's nothing anywhere in the world that can compete with America.
Come on, Trump. Give me some zingers. So far, we're kind of a little blah, blah, blah.
Now we must step boldly and bravely into the next chapter of this great American adventure.
Space Force.
And we must create a new standard of living for the 21st century.
Okay.
An amazing quality of life for all of our citizens is within reach. We can make our community safer, our families stronger, our culture richer, our faith deeper, and our middle class bigger and more prosperous than ever before.
She's really trying there with the... I don't know how she has the Elvis going on. She has the Elvis going on. That's pretty intense, like, seriously.
I can't control my not coming in.
The bonus of Botox.
But we must reject The politics of revenge, resistance, and retribution, and embrace the boundless potential of cooperation, compromise, and the common good.
What is she reading? She's clapping in his face, and Ocasio is not clapping. Some are clapping. She's just not going to sit. Oh, my word.
Together, we can break decades of political stalemate. We can bridge old divisions, heal old wounds, build new coalitions, forge new solutions, and unlock the extraordinary promise of America's future. The decision is ours to make.
Put your papers down,
We must choose
Pelosi.
between greatness or gridlock,
What are you doing?
results or resistance, vision or vengeance, incredible progress or pointless destruction. Tonight, I ask you to
What
choose
is she doing
greatness.
with the papers? That's a great question. Is she reading his speech? I don't know. Did somebody give her the speech? You missed Ocasio-Cortez sitting just stoutly at front. What, people behind her are standing. Other white heads.
Oh my
For the
God.
last 2 years, my administration has moved with urgency and historic speed to
Well, she
confront
pretty much just,
problems
like,
neglected
clapped
by
into his
leaders
face.
of both parties over many decades. In just over 2 years since the election, we have launched an unprecedented economic boom. A boom
Economic
that has
boom. The way he
rarely
says
been
boom.
seen before.
No, you're not
There's
going
been
to
nothing
boom.
like
Bring the
We have
economic
created
boom.
5.3 million new jobs.
This is like the
And
Super Bowl.
importantly, added
Cheer
600,000
for your
new
team.
manufacturing jobs, something which almost everyone said was impossible to do. But the fact is, we are just getting started.
Getting started. Getting started. We're getting started. Getting started.
Like it. Tony says Nancy is trying to look busy.
Wages are
in the
rising at
green,
the
lime
fastest
green.
pace in decades and growing for blue-collar workers who I promised to fight for. They're
We'll fight
growing
for you.
faster than anyone else thought possible. Nearly 5 million Americans have been lifted off food stamps.
Everybody should clap for that, except for the Democrats, because they want people on food stamps. Look, they want people on food stamps. Look at them sitting there. They want people on daggone food stamps. Unbelievable.
The U.S. economy is growing almost twice as fast today as when I took office. And we are considered far and away the hottest economy anywhere in the world. Not even close.
Hottest economy. Not even close.
Unemployment has reached the lowest rate in over half a century.
Right.
African American, Hispanic American, and Asian American unemployment have all reached their lowest levels ever recorded.
I love how the left can't cheer for that. Lowest record of unemployment. Can't clap. That's a bad thing.
Unemployment for Americans
We want
with
people employed.
disabilities has also reached an all-time low.
Look at all these people. We want the unemployed. We want people underneath of us. We want people dependent upon us. That one lady kind of had the brain. She's clapping in her lap.
Are working now than at any time in the history of our country. 157 million people at work.
How many of those people are self-employed? That's when I will stand up and
We
clap.
passed a massive tax cut for working families and doubled the child tax credit.
Hey, don't we want tax credits and tax breaks for people and children, and wouldn't that be clap-worthy? No. Guess not.
Don't stop talking. Try to talk to Mike Pence.
We virtually
like
ended the
boo-boo
estate
girl in
tax
high
or
school.
death tax,
Talk
as
to
it is
anybody.
often called, on small businesses, for ranches,
He's like,
and also
Did he
for
say she?
family
No.
farms.
Oh, yeah.
they're working on getting some of the death tax taken away on family farms, which is really
That
cool.
is really, really awesome. Robert Bone says Nancy is thinking about all that free
Eliminated
alcohol in
the
her
very
office.
unpopular Obamacare individual mandate penalty.
There we go. That hits home.
Woo, woo, woo,
That's
woo.
awesome. Donna Terry says just eliminating the death tax is a major accomplishment.
Access to life-saving cures. We passed, very importantly, right to try.
Love that one. Hey, that lady's standing on her feet. Okay, I'll clap. I have a bum arm and I'm clapping. Look at all these other people who won't stand up and
My
clap for the right to try.
administration has cut more regulations in a short period of time than any other administration during its entire tenure.
Well, we can't clap because he just mentioned his own administration, so that's a definite no clapping.
No for me. No for me.
Companies are coming back to our country in large numbers, thanks to our historic reductions in taxes and regulations. And we have unleashed a revolution in American energy. The United States is now the #1 producer of oil and natural gas anywhere in the world.
He has to. He has to. That's the guy from West Virginia. He has to stand up. He's a Democrat from West Virginia. He's laughing.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta
And
stand for that, buddy. I
for
don't
the
get
first
elected
time
again.
in 65 years,
Only
we
people who vote for me are coal miners and people related to coal miners.
exporter of energy.
It's like, if you don't support West Virginia coal, you don't get elected, son.
Yeah.
After 24 months of rapid progress, our economy is the envy of the world. Our military is the most powerful on earth by far. And America,
Everybody's clapping for that. Now let us clap for yourself, by the way. Yep.
Well, yeah, you gotta do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Redneck says he expects to see blood dripping from Nancy's mouth and biting her tongue.
I love that Rand Paul is sitting next to Senator Cruz. Like,
America is
Let's
again
get
winning
together, ready?
each and every day.
you want to sit next to me? Yeah, we're like the outsiders. We're like the
Members of Congress, the state of our union is strong.
There we go. Standing again. Everybody decided that on the Republican side, they didn't have to go to the gym today. All the Democrats, y'all had better gone and done your workout because you're not getting one tonight.
Democrat
sitting on
from
your
West
booty.
Virginia stood for that one
That's
too.
right. USA, USA, USA. It's really funny.
That
Look at
sounds so
Pence's
good.
smile.
Our country is vibrant and our economy is thriving like never before.
Like never
On
before.
Friday, it was announced that we added another 304,000 jobs last month alone, almost double the number expected.
Hot dog. See, Nancy's clapping. She knows we need jobs if we're going to run the government. You need to take everybody's money. People need to be working in order to tax them.
Kind of clap a little.
Okay, we
kinda
need
clap
jobs.
An economic miracle is taking place in the United States, and the only thing that can stop it are foolish wars, politics, or ridiculous
Wars in politics.
partisan investigations.
Or ridiculous partisan investigations. You walked away with that one. Look, oh. Ooh. That's so so
If there is
fun.
going to be peace
Did the
and
crowd make noise?
legislation,
Yeah.
there cannot be war and investigation. It just doesn't
There
work that
cannot be
way.
war and investigation. It just doesn't work that way, he said.
We must
You're missing one
be
good
united at
Do
home
that.
to defeat our adversaries abroad. This new era of cooperation can start with finally confirming the more than 300 highly
What
qualified
is Nancy
nominees
looking at back
who
there?
are still stuck
Maybe
in
she
the
can't
Senate.
hear and she has to read the speech.
In some cases, years and years waiting. Not right.
Not right. Not right.
There is literally nothing that she could be looking at. They're blank pages. They're blank papers. Somebody told her, if you have to mess with your teeth or something, hold up the papers.
That's what it is.
The Senate has failed
Look
to
at the paper
act
when
on
you don't
these
agree with them.
nominations, which is unfair to the nominees and very unfair to our country. Now is the time for bipartisan action. Believe it or not, we have already proven
So
that
creepy. He's so
in
bad.
the last Congress, both parties
Look at him glaring.
came together to pass
He's like
unprecedented
Chuck Schumer-like.
legislation to confront the opioid crisis, a sweeping new farm bill, historic VA reforms.
Needed.
After 4 decades of rejection, we passed VA accountability
Senator Grassley back there
so
with
that we
new
can finally
acting
terminate
AG.
those who mistreat
Whitaker.
our wonderful veterans.
Okay, you gotta stand for the vet.
You have to
No.
stand for the vets.
No, you put two mixed things
Oh,
together,
okay.
and then they couldn't stand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, some did. The front row Democrat ladies just are run by
Just weeks ago,
Ocasio-Cortez today.
both parties united for groundbreaking criminal justice reform. They said it couldn't be done.
Oh, look at that. Yeah.
Last year, I heard through
Sit.
friends the story of Alice Johnson. I
gonna
was
be good.
deeply moved. In 1997, Alice was sentenced
This is the
to
one that,
life in prison
Kardashian.
as a
yeah.
first-time nonviolent drug offender. Over the next 22 years,
Do you know how amazing
she
it would have been to have
became
Kim Kardashian
a
sit
prison
next to her?
minister,
I wouldn't have wanted
inspiring
it, but
others
that would have like
to
made the whole
choose a
world be
better
like,
path.
what?
Mm-hmm.
She had a big impact on that prison population and far beyond. Alice's story underscores the disparities and unfairness that can exist in criminal sentencing and the need to remedy this total injustice. She served almost that 22 years and had expected to be in prison for the remainder of her life. In June, I commuted Alice's sentence. When I saw Alice's
Look at
beautiful
Ivanka.
family greet her at the prison gates, hugging and kissing and crying and laughing, I knew I did something right. Alice is with us tonight, and she is a terrific woman. Terrific. Alice, please.
That is so awesome. That is awesome. Can anybody sit for that? I mean, seriously?
Alice, thank you for reminding us that we always have the power to shape our own destiny. Thank you very much, Alice. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh.
Inspired by stories like Alice's, my administration worked closely with members of both parties to sign the First Step Act into law. Big deal. Big deal.
Donna Terry says, I don't think that the president realizes if he starts talking about God, Nancy's going to melt. Would that be considered homicide?
This legislation reformed sentencing laws that have wrongly and disproportionately harmed the African American community. The First Step Act gives nonviolent offenders the chance to re-enter society as productive, law-abiding citizens. Now, states across the country are following our lead. America is a nation that believes in redemption. We are also joined tonight by Matthew Charles from Tennessee. In 1996, at the age of 30,
You're fine.
Matthew was sentenced to 35 years for selling drugs and related offenses. Over the next 2 decades, he completed more than 30 Bible studies, became a law clerk, and mentored many of his fellow inmates. Now Matthew is the very first person to be released from prison under the First Step Act.
Look at that's a real smile. He is definitely happy. He's one happy man. Handsome fella. Look how happy. Look at that. That's a nice smile.
Thank you, Matthew. Welcome home.
Rosa Jaren says these drug sentences are insane. A rapist and pedophile gets less
Now,
time.
Republicans and Democrats must join forces again to confront an urgent national crisis. Congress has 10
Here
days
it comes.
left
Look at Nancy's new little other teeth.
that will fund our government, protect our homeland, and secure our very
Her necklace
dangerous
got off.
southern
It's off. I saw
border.
that earlier.
Now is the time for Congress to show the world that America is committed to ending illegal immigration
Here it comes.
and putting the ruthless coyotes, cartels, drug dealers, and human
But they don't have
traffickers
orders, man.
of business.
Yeah.
Not gonna stand or clap for putting criminals out of business.
No
are we?
way.
What is these people?
I don't know who that lady is. They're obviously on her for some reason. Maybe know who she
She
is.
likes the apartment, like Homeland Security.
Oh my gosh, look at her. Nobody cares.
As we speak, large, organized caravans are on the march to the United States. We have just heard that Mexican cities,
You see Nancy?
in order to remove
Tell everybody,
the illegal immigrants
They're
from their
groaning.
communities, are getting trucks and buses to bring them up
Shake
to
it.
our country in areas
There
where
we go.
there is little border protection.
Awesome.
I have ordered another 3,750 troops to our southern border to prepare for this tremendous onslaught.
Ooh.
This is a moral issue.
This
The
is a moral
lawless state
issue.
of our southern border is a threat to the safety, security, and financial well-being of all America. We have a moral duty to create an immigration system that protects the lives and jobs of our citizens. This includes our obligation to the millions of immigrants living here today who followed the rules and respected our laws. Legal immigrants enrich our nation and strengthen our society in countless ways.
Legal immigrants strengthen our society. How is that not a thing?
We should clap and stand for that.
Okay, we
I
got
want
some-
people to come into our country in the largest numbers ever, but they have to come in legally.
I think that's an excellent idea. I think hot dog, yes.
Tonight I am asking you to
How can
defend
the fact that these
our
people
very
don't stand
dangerous
when you have to
southern
come in
border
legally?
I know.
What is
love
that?
and
It's so
devotion
strange.
to our fellow citizens and to our country. No issue better illustrates the divide between America's working class and America's political class than illegal immigration. Wealthy politicians and donors push for open borders
Don't
while
move the
living their lives behind walls and gates and guards.
She's moving those teeth.
Omar's got her head down.
Meanwhile, working class Americans are left to pay the price for mass illegal immigration. Reduced
We're going to have
jobs,
some victims here.
lower wages, overburdened schools, hospitals that are so crowded you can't get in, increased crime, and a depleted social safety net. Tolerance for illegal immigration is not compassionate. It is actually very cruel.
That's right. Yep. She doesn't even
One
know
in
what to
three
do.
women
Look
is
at her.
sexually assaulted
Omar's just like
on the long
got her head
journey
down.
north.
She's praying.
Smugglers use migrant children as human pawns to exploit our laws and gain access to our country.
The fact that they
Human
want
traffickers and sex traffickers take advantage of the wide open areas between our ports of entry to smuggle thousands of young girls and women into the United States and to sell them into prostitution and modern-day slavery.
Thank you, modern day slavery, he just
Tens of
said.
thousands of innocent Americans are killed
We're just getting good.
by lethal drugs that cross our border and flood into our cities, including meth,
There you go.
heroin,
No, we don't want to
cocaine,
scoot over.
and
The
fentanyl.
TV's over there.
The savage gang MS-13 now operates
Susan
in at
Collins.
least 20 different American states. And they almost all come through our southern
I'm
border.
gonna check her Facebook.
Just yesterday, an MS-13 gang member was taken into custody for a fatal shooting
Yep.
on a subway platform in
Yep.
New York City.
Yep.
We are removing these gang members by the thousands. But until we secure our border, they're going to keep streaming right back in. Year after year, countless Americans are murdered by criminal, illegal aliens. I've gotten to know many wonderful angel moms and dads and families. No one should ever have to suffer the horrible heartache that they have had to endure. Here tonight is Deborah Bissell. Just 3 weeks ago, Deborah's parents, Gerald and Sharon, were burglarized and shot to death in their Reno, Nevada home by an illegal alien.
3
They
weeks
were
ago.
in their 80s and are survived by 4 children, 11 grandchildren, and 20 great-grandchildren. Also here tonight are Gerald and Sharon's granddaughter, Heather, and great-granddaughter, Madison. To Deborah, Heather, Madison, please stand. Few can understand your pain. Thank you, and thank you for being here. Thank you very much.
Wow.
How do you clap for that thing? Like, how do you, like, acknowledge it?
3 weeks. It just happened. It needs to be in the papers.
I will never forget And
It's
I
gonna
will
make
fight
headlines.
for the memory of Gerald and Sharon, that it should never happen again. Not one more American life should be lost because our nation failed to control its very dangerous border. In the last 2 years, our brave ICE officers made 266,000 arrests of criminal aliens, including those charged or convicted of nearly 100,000 assaults, 30,000 sex crimes, and 4,000 killings or murders.
That's insane.
We are joined tonight by one of those law enforcement heroes, ICE Special Agent Elvin Hernandez. When Elvin
What do you do? What do you do with the president? We're gonna, yeah.
Thank you. When Elvin was a boy, he and his family legally immigrated to the United States from the Dominican Republic. At the age of 8, Elvin told his dad he wanted to become a special agent. Today, he leads investigations into the scourge of international sex trafficking. Elvin says that if I can make sure these young girls get their justice, I've really done my job. Thanks to his work and that of his incredible colleagues, more than 300 women and girls have been rescued from the horror of this terrible situation. And more than 1,500 sadistic traffickers have been put behind bars.
If you can't, like, stand for that,
Unbelievable. Look at this. How can you not stand for that guy? Oh my gosh. Oh, we should stand. Okay, we should stand. All right. And they're explaining why we just stood. Okay. All right. We just stood.
Thank you, Elvin.
He's an immigrant, you
We
idiot.
will
His
always
last name is
support
Hernandez.
the brave men and women of law enforcement. And I pledge to you tonight
No, let him know.
that I will never abolish our heroes from ICE.
just went out.
Thank you.
See, we're bad dogs. You're gonna bust the door down. Come here. That's it. Come here.
My administration has sent to Congress a common sense proposal to end the crisis on the southern border. It includes humanitarian assistance, more law enforcement, drug detection at our ports, closing loopholes that enable child smuggling, and plans for a new physical barrier or wall to secure the vast areas between our ports of entry. In the past, most of the people in this room voted for a wall, but the proper wall never got built. I will get it built.
Cruz lives down there.
He's never going to say the street again.
This is a smart, strategic, see-through steel barrier, not just a simple concrete wall. It will be deployed
Because of the
in the
heat again.
areas identified by the border agents as having the greatest need. And these agents will tell you where walls go up, illegal crossings go way, way down. San Diego used to have the most illegal border crossings in our country. In response, a strong security wall.
She's trying to picture herself
was
up
put in
there
place.
given the State of the Union. 'cause
This
she's running for
powerful
president.
barrier almost completely ended illegal
I will eviscerate every single one of you.
The border city of El Paso, Texas, used to have extremely high rates of violent crime, one of the highest in the entire country, and considered one of our nation's most dangerous cities. Now, immediately upon its building, with a powerful barrier in place, El Paso is one of the safest cities in our country. Simply put, walls work and walls save lives.
Yeah, they do. You know, somebody posted the other day the Vatican has a wall around it.
So does Nancy Pelosi's very own home.
So let's work together, compromise, and reach a deal that will truly make America safe. As we work to defend our people's safety, we must also ensure our economic resurgence continues at a rapid pace. No one has benefited more from our thriving economy than women, who have filled 58% of the newly created jobs last year.
So he's moving on from the wall topic, and there was supposed to be something big about the wall.
Women can't stand for women filling jobs. Maybe we should stand for that. Oh, great, we're new. Here we go. Newly created jobs. It's the new women. There we go.
Oh my gosh, unbelievable. But anyway, at the very, very start of it, he did talk about declaring a national emergency. So I think that was his clue that you were supposed to be listening for.
You weren't supposed to do that. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All Americans can be proud that we have more women in the workforce than ever before.
No, I'm not proud of that. What are you going to do? Not stand? You're feminist. You have to stand. And you have to clap, because you know what? It's not awesome. I don't want women in the workforce. I want them home. So poop on that one.
I agree.
Don't sit yet. You're going to like this. And exactly 1 century after Congress passed the constitutional amendment giving women the right to vote, we also have more women serving in Congress than at any time before.
Wow, that was magnanimous.
Very. They look like 5-year-olds, I have to tell you. It's very childish.
It's so high school.
They're cheerleading about it.
It's so high school.
You've just shown your maturity.
And you know
Well
what?
done.
They got you to stand for Trump.
I know, I'm very, there was a shrewd move, I think, on the speechwriter's part. If somebody's bumping their fist, I mean, what in the world? You're acting like you're 5. See, now they're going to tap the USA! They're making them do it! They're making them do it, baby! That was fun, baby! Let them make it happen! Oh my gosh! That's hilarious! That was well done.
Well done, Trump. Well played.
Great.
Well played.
Very great.
Well
And
played.
congratulations. That's great. As part of our
Well
commitment
played.
to improve
Obama
opportunity
wouldn't have done
for
it.
women
No way.
everywhere, this Thursday, we are launching the first ever government-wide initiative focused on economic empowerment for women in developing countries. To build on, our incredible economic success, one priority is paramount: reversing decades of calamitous trade policies, so bad. We are now making it clear to China that after years of targeting our industries and stealing our intellectual property, the theft of American jobs and wealth has come to an end.
I'm still stuck on Trump getting them to chant USA.
Therefore, we recently imposed tariffs on $250 billion of Chinese goods, and now our Treasury is receiving billions and billions of dollars.
Billions and billions
But I
of
don't blame
dollars.
China for taking advantage of us.
It
I
blames
blame our
previous
leaders and
administration.
representatives for allowing this travesty to happen. I have great respect for President Xi, and we are now working on a new trade deal with
He's
China.
cracking down on Christians over there. I have no
But
respect
it
for
must
President
include
Xi.
real structural change to end unfair trade practices, reduce our chronic trade deficit, and protect American jobs.
Just put it like those beans and make it stand as it worship.
Another historic
Really
trade
good.
blunder was the catastrophe known as
Trying to happen
NAFTA.
now.
I have met the men and women of Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Indiana, New Hampshire, and many other states
Nope, she's
whose
not allowed to
dreams
say.
were shattered by the signing of NAFTA. For years, politicians promised them they would renegotiate for a better deal,
Can you open the door?
but no one ever tried until
doesn't.
now.
She doesn't want to say hi.
Our new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, the USMCA, will replace NAFTA and deliver for American workers like they haven't had delivered to for a long time. I hope you can pass the USMCA into law so that we can bring back our manufacturing jobs in even greater numbers, expand American agriculture, protect intellectual property, and ensure that more cars are proudly stamped with our four beautiful words.
Made in the USA.
Tonight, I am also asking you to pass the United States Reciprocal
She's
Trade
still
Act.
standing. What? And what
So
with
that
the
if
paper?
another
Sit down,
country
Nancy.
places an unfair tariff on an American product, we can charge them the exact same tariff on the exact same product that they sell.
I
to
have no
us.
problem with that. It makes sense. Protect American manufacturers, protect Americans making things. It makes so much sense. But Democrats like slaves.
Both parties should
True.
be able to unite for a great rebuilding of America's crumbling infrastructure.
Here we go. Roads and bridges. Everybody loves money for roads and bridges.
I know that Congress is eager to pass an infrastructure bill, and I am eager to work with you on legislation to deliver new and important infrastructure investment, including investments in the cutting-edge industries of the future. This is not an option. This is a necessity. The next major priority for me and for all of us should be to lower the cost of health care and prescription drugs and to protect patients with pre-existing conditions.
Well, you don't understand, Trump, because our lobbyists, these lobbyists come to Washington and give us big money for the pharmaceutical companies. So we can exactly talk about lowering health care costs.
Already as a result of my administration's efforts in 2018, drug prices experienced their single largest decline in 46 years.
When are we going to start holding the drug companies responsible for the vaccine damages
But we must do more.
instead of the
It's
taxpayer?
unacceptable that Americans pay vastly more than people in other countries for the exact same drugs, often made in the exact same place. This is wrong. This is unfair. And together, we will stop it. And we'll stop it fast.
Stop it fast. Whip it. Shake it up. It's not too late to whip it. Whip it good.
I am asking Congress to pass legislation that finally takes on the problem of global freeloading and delivers fairness and price transparency for American patients, finally.
Mitch has one face.
He does. It's time out. Why the long
also
face?
require drug companies, insurance companies, and hospitals to disclose real prices
a little optimistic.
to foster
His
competition
eyes a little cheery.
Yeah.
and bring costs way down.
Because he won't eat with any women
Alone.
alone.
That are not his wife.
I love it.
He won't be alone with women that aren't his wife. Throughout the,
That'll keep a little spark in your eye.
No force in history has done more to advance the human condition than American freedom. In recent years,
I think they probably timed this piece out at like 15 minutes. You know? With applause line after applause line.
Yeah.
You know, Pelosi couldn't be president. She'd have
She'd
to
be
tell
a
her.
fly.
recent years we have made remarkable progress in the fight against HIV and AIDS. Scientific breakthroughs have brought a once distant dream within reach. My budget will ask Democrats and Republicans to make the needed commitment to eliminate the HIV epidemic in the United States within 10 years. We have made incredible strides, incredible.
Well, everybody wants to get rid of AIDS.
Together, we will defeat AIDS in America and beyond. Tonight, I am also asking you to join me in another fight that all Americans can get behind, the fight against childhood cancer.
That could start with looking into vaccine safety, the chemicals in our food, GMOs, things like that.
Joining Melania in the gallery this evening is a very brave 10-year-old girl, Grace Eline. Every birthday,
Isn't she so cute? Gotta bring a kid in. It's smart. Smart move. Cute one. Oh, they're all cute.
hi, Grace. Every birthday since she was 4, Grace asked her friends to donate to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. She did not know that one day she might be a patient herself. That's what happened. Last year, Grace was diagnosed with brain cancer. Immediately, she began radiation treatment. At the same time, she rallied her community and raised more than $40,000 for the fight against cancer.
I think so.
When Grace completed treatment last fall, her doctors and nurses cheered. They loved her. They still love her. With tears in their eyes, as she hung up a poster that read, "Last day of chemo."
Wow.
Thank you very much, Grace. You are a great inspiration to everyone in this room. Thank you very much. Many childhood cancers have not seen new therapies in decades. My budget will ask Congress for $500 million over the next 10 years to fund this critical life-saving research. To help support working parents, the time has come to pass school choice for Americans' children.
Lee and I were just talking about this yesterday. I was wondering where Betsy DeVoe is. Ah, there she is.
I am also proud to be the first president to include in my budget a plan for nationwide paid family leave so that every new parent has the chance to bond with their newborn child.
Paid family leave.
There could be no greater contrast to the beautiful image of a mother holding her infant child than the chilling displays our nation saw in recent days.
Uh-oh!
Lawmakers in New York cheered with delight upon the passage of legislation that would allow a baby to be ripped from the mother's womb moments from birth. These are living, feeling, beautiful babies who will never get the chance to share their love and their dreams with the world. And then we had the case of the governor of Virginia, where he stated he would execute a baby after birth. To defend the dignity of every person, I am asking Congress to pass legislation to prohibit the late-term abortion of children from the mother's womb.
Hot dog! Now we're talking! Glory be to God! Praise Jesus! Hallelujah! We just went to church! Look at the baby murderers! Oh, look at the baby murderers! I know people going to hell. Going to hell! Everybody to hell! How hot is that seat? Because you're going there quickly. Baby murderers!
Let us work together to build a culture that cherishes innocent life.
Preach! 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 We in church tonight. We in church tonight. Preach, preach, preach. We in church tonight. We in church tonight. Here it comes. This is the state of our union. If he didn't put this in here, heaven help me.
And let us reaffirm a fundamental truth. All children, born and unborn, are made in the holy image of God. The final part of my agenda is to protect American security. Over the last 2 years, we have begun to fully rebuild the United States military with $700 billion last year and $716 billion this year. We are also getting other nations to pay their fair share. Finally.
Rosa Sharon says, if he didn't speak this, I would have lost all respect for him. 10 points to Trump.
For years, the United States was being treated very unfairly by friends of ours, members of NATO. But now we have secured,
They
in the
heard you
last couple
drinking.
of years, more than $100 billion of increase in defense spending from our NATO allies. They said it couldn't be done.
Carlos says President Trump is dropping the mother of all bombs on the Democrats. Donna Terry says Democrats are really building a Sodom and Gomorrah. St. Mark says Mark the infanticide.
As part of our military buildup, the United States is developing a state-of-the-art missile defense system Under my administration, we will never apologize for advancing America's interests.
What just happened?
For example,
What? I'm just checking.
decades ago, the United States entered into a treaty with Russia in which we agreed to limit and reduce our missile capability. While we followed the agreement and the rules to the letter, Russia repeatedly violated its terms.
So he's going to pick on
Going
Russia
on
here.
for many years.
He get a chance to make his
That is why I announced that the United
stance
States
against Russia.
is officially withdrawing from the Intermediate Range Nuclear Forces Treaty, or INF Treaty. Perhaps we really have no choice. Perhaps we can negotiate a different agreement, adding China and others. Or perhaps we can't, in which case we will outspend and out-innovate all others by far. As part of a bold new diplomacy, we continue our historic push for peace on the Korean Peninsula. Our hostages have come home. Nuclear testing has stopped, and there has not been a missile launch in more than 15 months. If I had not been elected President of the United
Here it
States,
comes!
we would right now, in my
Look at
opinion,
Nancy's
be in a
face.
major war with North Korea.
Look at Nancy's face. She's like incredulous.
Much work remains to be done,
So
but
great.
my relationship with Kim Jong-un is a good one. Chairman Kim and I will meet again on February 27th and 28th in Vietnam.
I guess the Democrats don't. I guess the Democrats do want nuclear
2
war.
weeks ago,
Yeah,
the
of course.
United States officially recognized the legitimate government of Venezuela and its new president. Juan
That's getting some gears from the left.
Socialist.
But a lot of the neoliberals like it too, so they're gonna clap.
We stand with the Venezuelan people in their noble quest for freedom, and we condemn the brutality of the Maduro regime, whose socialist policies have turned that nation from being the wealthiest in South America into a state of abject poverty and despair. Here in the United States, we are alarmed by the new calls to adopt socialism in our country. America was founded on liberty and independence, and not government coercion, domination, and control. We are born free, and we will stay free.
Look at his smile!
Listen to the cheers.
We're all looking to AFC and USA!
Tonight,
Oh,
we
it's
renew
too
our
fun.
resolve
We didn't get to see AOC.
that
No.
America will never be a socialist country.
Yeah! Yes, Lord! Preach it! Look, Nancy Pelosi clapping, baby! Nancy Pelosi, she's just a capitalist. USA! USA!
One of the most complex set of challenges
Look, she's looking
we
at her
face
girlfriends across the
and
room,
have for
shaking her
many
head.
years.
Let me
is
look
in
at my
the Middle
papers.
East.
I made a mistake. I shouldn't have clapped. Now
Our
let me look at my
approach is
blank
based
papers.
on principle, realism, not discredited theories
think-
that have failed for decades.
I think she's got
Yield
his
progress.
speech, and she's highlighted where it's okay to clap and where it isn't.
For this reason,
Maybe.
my administration recognized the true capital of Israel and proudly opened the American embassy in Jerusalem.
Would you please plan in on Ilha Omar, please? Come on.
I love that they go to Jared here. He's Jewish, by the way.
Can you please pan in on the Democrats? Please,
I
please,
know,
please,
I
please,
know,
please, pretty
I know.
please, pretty please. I want to see what they look like. Not
They're all
fair.
a bunch of Nazis. All those
Our
Democrats.
brave troops have now been fighting in the Middle East for almost 19 years.
You notice that
In
they're not
Afghanistan
panning on the
and Iraq,
Democrats on a lot of these things, like the
Nearly
AFC and stuff.
7,000 American heroes
I want to see their face.
have given their lives. More than 52,000 Americans have been badly wounded. We have spent more than $7 trillion in fighting wars in the Middle East. As a candidate for president, I loudly pledged a new approach. Great nations do not fight endless wars.
Great nations do not fight endless wars.
Praise the Lord. Y'all just voted to keep us in Afghanistan, don't? Oh, well, then
When
I'm
I
out of
took
a job.
office, ISIS controlled more than 20,000 square miles
There goes
in
the teeth.
Iraq
She couldn't help it.
and Syria just 2 years ago. Today we have liberated virtually all of the territory from the grip of these bloodthirsty monsters. Now, as we work with our allies to destroy the remnants of ISIS, it is time to give our brave warriors in Syria a warm welcome home. I have also accelerated our negotiations to reach, if possible, a political settlement in Afghanistan. The opposing side is also very happy to be negotiating. Our troops have fought with unmatched valor, and thanks to their bravery, we are now able to pursue a possible political solution to this long and bloody conflict.
A lot of people aren't interested in ending
Afghanistan,
Afghanistan.
my administration
Rand
is
Paul
holding
is.
constructive talks with a number of Afghan groups, including the Taliban. As we make progress in these
She has the
negotiations,
teeth.
we will be able
She
to reduce
really
our
tried
troops'
hard.
presence and focus on counter-terrorism, and we will indeed
She could
focus
get
on
fixed dentures.
counter-terrorism. We do not know whether we'll achieve an agreement, but we do know that after 2 decades of war, the hour has come to at least try for peace, and the other side would like to do the same thing. It's time.
Sydney, St. Mark says when you're drinking, it sounds like a horse trotting. She just looked at the water.
Above all, friend and foe alike must never doubt this nation's power and will to defend our people. 18 years ago, violent terrorists attacked the USS Cole, and last month, American forces killed one of the leaders of that attack.
Well, he thought he got away with it for a while, didn't he?
Yep.
We are honored to be joined tonight by Tom Wibberley, whose son, Navy seaman Craig Wibberley, was one of the 17 sailors we tragically lost Tom, we vow to always remember the heroes of the USS Cole. Thank you, Tom. My administration has acted decisively
Wish they'd fix her.
to confront the world's leading state sponsor of terror,
Betty Rebel
the
necklace.
radical regime in Iran. It is a radical regime. They do bad, bad things to ensure this
So does Saudi Arabia.
dictatorship
True,
never
but they own
acquires
it.
nuclear weapons. I withdrew the United States from the disastrous Iran nuclear deal.
Pompeo's like, yep, I did that.
And last fall, we put in place the toughest sanctions ever imposed by us on a country. We will not avert our eyes from a regime that chants death to America
She's gotta see if
and
she's supposed to
threatens
clap for this one.
genocide against the
gotta be it.
Jewish people.
I don't think I should clap for the Jewish people. Okay.
We must never ignore the vile poison of anti-Semitism or those who spread its venomous creed.
I know.
With one voice, we must confront this hatred anywhere and everywhere it occurs. Just months ago, 11 Jewish Americans were viciously murdered in an anti-Semitic attack on the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh. SWAT officer Timothy Matson raced into the gunfire and was shot 7 times, chasing down the killer. And he was very successful. Timothy has just had his 12th surgery, and he's going in for many more. But he made the trip to be here with us tonight. Officer Matson, please.
Wow. That is a hefty cheer for him. Yep, I can't. I gotta sit down. Yep. Wow. Amazing. Okay, ladies, you get out of the way. Oh, he's good again. All right, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We are forever grateful. Thank you very much. Tonight, we are also joined by Pittsburgh survivor, Judah Samet. He arrived at the synagogue as the massacre began.
Wow.
But not only did Judah narrowly escape death last fall, more than 7 decades ago, he narrowly survived the Nazi concentration camps.
Whatever. Oh my gosh, that's so cool.
81st birthday.
Ah! Today is his birthday. Okay, how do you get all those awesome things together in one? That is awesome. Wow. I love that his name's Judah, by the way. They're singing happy birthday. What are you messing with the dogs when they're singing happy birthday to the Jewish guy? awesome. Happy birthday to you. Wow. Thank you, he yelled. Oh.
They wouldn't do that for me, Judah. Judah says he can still remember the exact moment nearly 75 years ago, after 10 months in a concentration camp, when he and his family were put on a train and told they were going to another camp. Suddenly, the train screeched to a very strong halt. A soldier appeared. Judah's family braced for the absolute worst. Then his father cried out with joy, "It's the Americans, it's the Americans."
I have goosebumps! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh. And he survived the synagogue. Oh my goodness. That is so great.
Thank you.
Some of this stuff
The
cheese.
second Holocaust
Are they out
survivor
there?
who's here tonight,
The shoes with the
Joshua
sports- yeah.
Kaufman, was a prisoner at Dachau. He remembers watching through a hole in the wall of a cattle car as American soldiers rolled in with tanks. To me, Joshua recalls, the American soldiers were proof that God exists, and they came down from the sky, they came down from heaven. I began this evening by honoring 3 soldiers who fought on D-Day in the Second World War. One of them was Herman Zaitchik. But there is more to Herman's story. A year after he stormed the beaches of Normandy, Herman was one of the American soldiers who helped liberate Dachau.
Wow.
So he helped liberate the place where the other guy was at.
Unstinking believable. You know, we're reaching a point where there won't be any left. This is a monumental time that we're living in.
He was one of the Americans who helped rescue
The
Joshua
other guys helping
from
him.
that hell on earth. Almost 75 years
Just
later,
call him Joshua. I think his name is Joshua.
Herman and Joshua
Oh,
are
no.
both
Okay, I
together
missed that part.
in the gallery tonight, seated side by side
Okay, that's
here in the home
Joshua.
of American freedom.
He's biblical name.
Herman and Joshua, your presence this evening is very much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Don't make him get up. Don't get up again. Just sit. You earned it. No, they sit again. Just let him sit. Look at him. Oh my gosh.
Thank you. When American soldiers set out beneath the dark skies over the English Channel in the early hours of D-Day 1944, they were just young men of 18 and 19 hurtling on fragile landing craft toward the most momentous battle in the history of war. They did not know if they would survive the hour. They did not know if they would grow old, but they knew that America had to prevail. Their cause was this nation and generations yet unborn. Why did they do it? They did it for America. They did it for us. Everything that has come since our triumph over communism, our giant leaps of science and discovery, our unrivaled progress towards equality and justice. All of it is possible thanks to the blood and tears and courage and vision of the Americans who came before. Think of this Capitol. Think of this very chamber where lawmakers before you voted to end slavery, to build the railroads and the highways, and defeat fascism, to secure civil rights, and to face down evil empires. Here tonight, we have legislators from across this magnificent republic. You have come from the rocky shores of Maine and the volcanic peaks of Hawaii, from the snowy woods of Wisconsin and the red deserts of Arizona, from the green farms of Kentucky and the golden beaches of California. Together we represent the most extraordinary nation in all of history. What will we do with this moment? How will we be remembered? I ask the men and women of this Congress, look at the opportunities before us. Our most thrilling achievements are still ahead. Our most exciting journeys still await. Our biggest victories are still to come. We have not yet begun to dream. We must choose whether we are defined by our differences or whether we
Getting a little
dare
boring. Who wrote this part?
to transcend
know.
them. We must choose whether we squander
I gotta tell you, when
our
you
great
read
inheritance
speeches, it's just
or
not
whether we
always
proudly
awesome.
declare
I gotta admit it.
that we are Americans. We do the
No,
incredible.
what that means is he just does better off the cuff.
We defy the impossible. We conquer the unknown. This is the time
Stephen
to
Miller,
reignite
this is you. Come on.
the American imagination.
I know you felt like this was awesome,
This
but
is the time to
kind of
search
boring.
for the tallest
I'm
summit
feeling like reading in the
and
rainbow.
set our sights
The more you
on the
know.
brightest star.
Let them listen to this.
This is the time to
I'm
rekindle
gonna
the
try to
bonds
entertain
of
them.
love and loyalty.
Look,
and
everybody in the
memory
audience wants to be entertained too.
that link us together.
They should
as
put us
citizens,
behind Trump.
as neighbors, as patriots. This is our future, our fate, and our choice to make. I am asking you
choices
to
to make.
choose greatness.
Choose greatness.
No matter the trials we face,
Who keeps bumping their chin?
no matter the challenges to come, we must go forward together. We must keep America first in our hearts. We must keep freedom alive in our souls. And we must always keep faith in America's destiny. That one nation, under God, must be the hope and the promise and the light and the glory among all the nations of the world.
Tis true.
Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you very much.
I kind of felt like that was the
finale, the grand finale.
there that we were leading up to. Thank you.
So we got through a lot. Major highlights of that speech.
Hang on, I'm going to turn this down a little bit.
Major highlights of that speech were where he got the new congressional chicks in the white to stand and cheer
And
for
chant
themselves.
USA.
And he says thank you, because it's like you're actually standing for him.
Right.
And they think they're standing for
themselves.
themselves, like in high school.
Yeah.
And then everybody else starts chanting USA, so then they start chanting USA. They all caught up in the moment before they know it.
Wait a minute, we're not
They're
supposed
at
to
a
cheer
Trump
for
rally.
Exactly, we're not supposed to chant
Yelling,
USA because we
chanting
aren't
USA.
Right, exactly.
So that was a huge win.
We aren't pro USA. Wait a minute.
The other, obviously, the infanticide.
He's asking Congress to pass legislation
To ban
partial birth abortion.
Listen.
That would blow what New York did out of the water.
It would.
We are a republic, but there are times where it should be. They didn't.
Yeah, they were pretty stern about it. Like, they are anti-abortion. Here we go. Kavanaugh, Gorsuch.
That's great. I love that they wear their robes. Show me Ruth Bader Ginsburg! I think she's dead already. I think they have her on life support.
And Mitchie, long face.
Oh.
Very magnanimous speech. You know, he is the great negotiator.
Yeah.
I think in Make America Great, people are going to be a little bit disappointed that they didn't have some more oomph to it. But if he hit one thing, like, here's the thing. Sometimes it's darkest right before the dawn.
Yeah.
And sometimes the devil, it feels like he's losing so badly, he throws the Hail Mary, and then it gets picked off.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with that legislation in New York. And so if I'm going to talk about anything, I want to talk about that legislation in New York.
Yeah.
I want to talk about President Trump. That is going. I'm putting my money on the fact that Twitter is going to be blown up all night over that. Nobody's going to care about anything else.
Yeah.
That's what everybody's coming away from.
It's not the wall like everybody thought. Everybody thought it was going to be the wall.
Yeah. And the fact that the fact that the Democrats sat while he talked about the governor of Virginia wanting to be able to make it legal to kill babies outside the womb.
Right.
That's the big takeaway tonight, guys. Everything else was to make him look like middle of the road. You know, we're gonna have some D-Day people there. We're gonna have some, you know, victims of a shooting, a synagogue shooting there. We're gonna have a child there.
Yeah.
We're gonna have. He didn't have as many victims, angel victims, as he did. He didn't make that his thing.
Right.
I think he realized that he has another weapon. And that, look at that. Look where it goes again. Like,
I didn't do it. You did it. I think you danced it this way. Well, it's not going to be an issue once we have our studio this week. Sometime. Maybe by Friday. Sunday for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Blew me out of the water. It's kind of like one of those things where somebody just does something so amazing.
Right.
Everything else just falls into place. It just, nothing else, or melts away.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, God doesn't care as much about the balanced budgets and all that crazy stuff. And you know what? God's doesn't care as much about that wall, even though we'll keep out criminals, as he does about killing millions of babies every year.
Right.
Planned Parenthood, I think, does 300,000 a year.
Right.
We're close to 50 billion worldwide babies murdered. And how many of those partial birth abortion, how many of those fully term babies, babies who would survive outside the womb.
Well, and here's the beautiful thing, guys.
Off of life support.
Like you just said, where the devil throws the Hail Mary and it gets picked off. Trump has ground to stand on when they take it to full term. It's muddy water for a lot of people when it's not full term. The waters get a lot clearer when they take it to full term. And so if they hadn't done what they did in New York, this couldn't have made it in the State of the Union.
It wouldn't have been in the speech.
And not even that it wouldn't have been, but abortion can't be talked about. Okay? It's like the gag rule
It would have been a platitude.
for John Quincy. It would have been a platitude. We need to protect lives
of the unborn.
But
blah,
to
blah,
make it as firm as he did, the only way he was able to do that is because of what happened in Virginia, what's continuing to happen with all these other states popping up. Now, Ohio is going to pass the heartbeat bill. Oh, we're not, no.
Two houses now dissolved.
Okay, wait, but we're not going to listen to the rebuttal, right?
The House will now come to order. For what purpose does the gentleman from Maryland seek recognition? Without objection, so
I don't know what that's all about.
again, for what purpose does the gentleman from Maryland seek recognition? The question is on the motion to adjourn.
Oh,
Those
yes,
in
adjourn.
favor say
Oh, okay.
aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. Accordingly, the House stands adjourned until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning for morning hour debate.
Okay. Your mic's still on. I hope these people know.
Okay.
All right, so
All right, guys.
I think that ends that,
yeah,
right?
that ends that.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay. So let's see. Anybody got anything? Any last comments before we sign off here?
Let me go to the chat here. I wasn't able to get to a lot of the Facebook comments, but we are with you guys, and we're glad that you guys are with us. For one, the YouTube comments I had up on my phone, so I saw all of those. Donna Terry says, we want the whole world to be able to look at us with respect and say it's the Americans, it's the Americans. That's awesome. I love that. Let's see. Actually,
You gotta slow them down.
I'm not, hang on, wait, stop. Let me tell you something.
Fast.
Because I just came back to it, it's going through all of the comments. That comment that Donna left must have been a while ago.
Okay.
Okay, so just calm
Now,
down.
how are you gonna read that?
I'm not. Those, I already saw all those. It's just catching up to what they're at right now. Okay?
Well, then just scroll down to the spot. I can't read them.
Okay, somebody says sing a song.
I don't have any songs ready tonight.
Up in my studio. Let's see, the demons fight for the women's right over her body for abortion, but then don't want the women to have the right not to have vaccines in their bodies.
There you go.
That's true.
such
You don't
a
need this
good
in your ear
point.
anymore.
Oh, yeah. So, using the logic of the left, if I say the Democrats are a non-viable tissue mass, can I terminate them now that they are out of the birth canal?
I agree, Robert. Yes.
San says they are able to save babies earlier and earlier if delivered early. That's true.
Kelly says best speech ever. Robert Bones says, I have family and friends who live in Texas. I'm afraid for their safety in the coming years. Build the wall, or let's go to Pelosi's house and knock down the wall around her mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Will the Democrats now hire a hitman? Fuzz Teeth Work wants to know.
Rare Repair says abortion is the issue.
Donna Terry says Nancy is being rude when she looks at the papers. She's not speaking, so what is she actually looking at?
Oh my gosh, no kidding.
Britt Baza says the Don is the master. Now America has a choice, a blessing in Trump or a curse in the other side, says Rare Repair Fritz.
Yeah.
Well said. God bless Donald Trump. The governor of Virginia is sick in the head.
Adeline says that speech had more oomph than you can imagine. Wait for the next few Q posts. That speech was amazing. Deep State are buying massive stock in Pampers.
Interesting. Redneck says, Chuck, Nancy, Camilla, and the rest of you psychotic liberals, you've been told.
Poor Kavanaugh, he doesn't want to speak to half of that crowd. No,
True.
Not after what they did to him.
Yep. Oh,
the
my
investigation was not brought up by Bill Clinton because he was guilty. President Trump is innocent.
Yep. All right, you can probably go back down to the...
Democrats where I live in Illinois just plain hate Trump.
True. Very true.
Monolithic Dome says, my niece just had a beautiful son after the abortion pill failed.
Oh my gosh! Well, praise the Lord for that. Oh my gosh.
The last president, along with his brother Bobby, who went after the shadow government, was JFK. So pray, people, just pray that the powers that be implode. Die off would be best, but hey, just as long as they're gone.
Well said, Danny.
Thanks, Sir Sydney, for the loud drinking.
Yeah.
Made it a little bit more exciting. The governor of Virginia, Ralph Northam, is sick in his soul.
Yep. All right, so my thoughts on the speech are that the Dems are going to try to pick things apart. They're going to, but this specific speech, they will be grasping at straws to do it. I think they're disappointed. They really wanted something. Now, once again, before we sign off here, Leah, you had told me today that Trump tweeted out to be listening carefully because he was going to give a hint, not something blatant. He was going to give a hint. And like I said earlier, right before he went to talk about the wall, he literally said the words, national emergency. He literally said those words. So my prediction, here you're going to hear it on Resistance Chicks, is that in the next coming days,
after
that, till the 14th or
15th,
something,
I think, the day after Thanksgiving.
After that,
Thanksgiving,
Valentine's Day. After that, I believe you're going to hear a national emergency, and I think also it was a threat. Right in front of everybody at the State of the Union, in front of the whole world, he was pretty much telling them, if we don't come to a deal, I'm declaring a national emergency. It doesn't matter. So do you want me to do that or not? And like we talked about, was it Friday or whatever day it was, national emergencies can go on and on and on for years and years and years and years and years. I think it was Tucker Carlson that covered it.
Yeah, there's one going on for like 45 years or something.
Yeah, they can literally just stay and play. So he didn't actually hit the wall as much as I thought that he was going to. St. Mark says, will the MSM report the Dems chanting USA?
Probably, but not as much as it should be.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome, actually.
He did a great job. Kimberly Cross says, I hope people listen. Let's see. Dale says, who did you say got you those Trump 2020 hats? Because I beg to differ. Dale, if you sent these and we didn't know, then I'm going to have to tell Kim that her she literally said to me, my dad sent you guys Trump hats. Did you ever get them? And we never realized who gave us these hats. So Dale, if you're the one that sent these ones specifically, then I'm going to have to tell Kim that we never got the ones from her dad.
So some of these, I'm just going to go through my Twitter feed, see what we've got going on here. Rand Paul says, I applaud real Donald Trump for delivering an America First vision, which included getting out of Afghanistan after almost 2 decades of being at war. We must stop our endless wars and focus on rebuilding at home. Melanie Weaver, Trump says America will never be a socialist country. Cortez's heart is broken.
We forgot to talk about that. That was a really big highlight. That was
Rand
huge.
Paul tweeted out, good for real Donald Trump, great nations do not fight endless wars. And I'm just kind of wondering if he has somebody tweeting out for him, because I don't think they're sitting there on their phones.
Now, hang on, pause right there, because David said the same thing. I'm glad he brought up the evils of socialism.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Matt Wall says, Chuck Schumer smirked and giggled while Trump described late-term abortion. The Democrat women sat and scowled when Trump declared that all babies have a right to life. The Democrat Party has become cartoonishly evil at this point. Candace Owen says, they won't applaud 5 million lifted off of food stamps. They won't applaud historically low black employment. They won't applaud historically low Hispanic unemployment. Democrats need minorities to need them, but Trump has awakened us up to the American dream.
Applemark Once Vid says, I thought it was very well delivered. The state of our union is strong.
Dave Rubin says, Nancy and the white pantsuit crew can't even applaud low black and Hispanic unemployment. Are they against that now?
Well, and how selfish of them not to applaud that, but to applaud the women thing, right? So you know what? You're not all about diversity. You don't care about minorities. You don't care about anybody else but yourselves.
Oh my gosh, you just said that. And Kimberly Strassel from the the Wall Street Journal says, don't get me wrong, I'm all into strong women applause going on, but it has to be said that it is a little sad that the first thing House female Democrats really chose to celebrate tonight was themselves. Sean Davis says, the mean girls of Congress sat on their hands and stared daggers at Trump when he called on Congress to pass a law prohibiting the murder of newborn babies into the living room. They're not just depraved political partisans, they're a death cult.
Wow.
Raise your hand if you agree with Trump, President Trump, Jeff Kosovic, that it is time to ban late-term abortion in America.
Raising my hand. David Z says the Democrats were not sure when to clap and when to have a poker face.
Matt Walsh, when you don't feel safe applauding "Let's not kill babies," then you need to reassess everything in your life.
I agree. Timmy on Facebook Live says, Trump 2020, babies' lives matter.
Never seen anything like this in my life, says Benny Johnson, the guy who created the meme for Lindsey Graham. Holocaust and Tree of Life synagogue shooting survivor Judas Summit, recognized by Trump. It's his 81st B-Day. The chamber, Republican and Democrats sang him a hearty happy birthday. The little old man yells thank you.
A beautiful American moment. On Facebook Live, we have Patricia, who left a lot of great comments. One is, San Fran Nan and Mad Max need to do something about San Francisco and Los Angeles infested flea, needle, and feces homeless districts. San Francisco made the #1 in the world worst city.
So let's play this one more time because Paul Joseph Watson tweeted it out. The
Good
moment
job.
when Democrats refuse to applaud not murdering babies sums up everything. And we don't have any volume down there.
Wait a minute. This would be a non-issue in the studio.
Studio. Well, I don't know. We still might turn it on if we.
No, it'll be fine.
Okay.
No greater contrast to the beautiful image of a mother holding her infant child than the chilling displays our nation saw in recent days.
Thank you, Trump.
Lawmakers in New York cheered with delight upon the passage of legislation that would allow a baby to be ripped from the mother's womb moments from birth.
Uh-huh.
These are living, feeling, beautiful babies who will never get the chance to share their love and their dreams with the world. And then we had the case of the governor of Virginia, where he stated he would execute a baby after birth to defend the dignity of every person. I am asking Congress to pass legislation to prohibit the late-term abortion of children.
Hey, hey! Oh, it's so good! It is so worth seeing again. Ooh, I love it! Thank you. All y'all baby killers. All going to hell. Every last one of them. All y'all people going to hell.
How can they just sit there? Oh,
Wow.
How can they just sit there?
Graham says, so the doctor should have a debate with the parents over whether to smother their child.
Mark Levin says, that was an outstanding speech, Mr. President. Dave Rubin, thank you. What's the paperwork Pelosi keeps looking at? Does Botox have a new line of products?
Oh my gosh. Mike, this is an essential oils diffuser. We don't have, the house is not on fire. It's not smoke, it's steam of sorts.
Benny Johnson says, Trump calls for a law prohibiting killing a baby when the baby can feel pain. All children, born and unborn, are made in the holy image of God, Trump said.
Holy image!
I've been in the gallery all night. Never was there a more solid block of Dems frowning, not clapping, and looking angry.
Wow.
It just really sums up. They literally are a death cult. They literally are a death cult.
Lori on Facebook says, I am very proud. American women tonight, we were born free and we will be kept free. The best quote ever. God bless the USA.
Elena on Twitter says, Camilla Harris shakes her head in disgust after Trump mentions that he wants to put drug cartels out of business. That's insane. That's insane.
Kelly says, Bernie looked ticked off the whole time.
Kimberly Strassel. Anyone else wondering if Pelosi's giant cards are in fact notes about when is or is not allowed to stand or clap? That's exactly what I'm pretty sure it is. Paul Sperry says the Bitter Sisters, all dressed in white, comprise the Socialist Choir section of Congress. Pray tell, what is your song of sorrow, O Bitter Sisters? That the free market economy is doing so well for your otherwise downtrodden comrades? Do you not dare to stand in solidarity with success?
Do you have a way to filter out like your favorite people coming
These
up?
are my favorite people.
Okay,
they're all my favorite people.
Cool.
Yeah. Anomaly says Democrats are truly disgusting. The party of deception, lies, revenge, hate, and ignorance. They don't even want to enforce laws of our country. Why are we paying their salaries?
Kimberly, our Twitter is Resistance Chicks without the K.
Paul Joseph Watson says, Ocasio-Cortez refuses to applaud sex traffickers being put behind bars. WTF is wrong with her?
Good question. St. Mark says Lucifer dresses in light, Dems dress in white. Both are murderers.
And then Jim Jordan tweets out about all life being sacred. Thank you, President Trump, for standing for...
Love Jim Jordan.
Yeah. So this is...
Were you talking with your hands on that? Because you have paint all over them. You have like you punched somebody in the face with paint on your... She's been painting the studio.
At least the mean girl stood up for the little girl who survived cancer. So here, look at the crowd when Trump says he wants to protect the innocent and end late-term abortion. No, want to keep killing them babies.
Oh my gosh, long. Hang on, wait. Gary says maybe dressing in white was a way to let everyone know they're snowflakes.
The biggest AOC death stare of the night was when Trump recognized an immigrant ICE agent who leads a task force to break up sex trafficking. Oh man. AOC was glaring at the ICE agent in the gallery. Holy smokes.
Oh my gosh. He's a legal immigrant.
Oh my gosh.
Hernandez. AOC.
500 traffickers are put behind bars and no claps from AOC. Very concerning she didn't clap. Sean Davis says, tonight is not the first time a bunch of ghouls dressed in white denied the humanity of an entire class of people in order to continue perpetuating horrific violence against them.
Mic drop.
Charlie Kirk says, that was the best State of the Union speech of our generation and possibly one of the greatest ever given. Strong, emotional, visionary, passionate. We are so blessed to have him as our president.
Trump 2020, baby. Keep it running.
This was a pretty big deal. Rand Paul says on Afghanistan, we know that after 2 decades of war, it is time to try for peace, bring our brave men and women home. Thank you, Donald Trump. Megyn Kelly, Dems unsure if applause are in order for the crackdown on sex traffickers. Really? Really? OMG, did Democrats just sit through the socialism question? Really? They are on public record for overthrowing capitalism as the American system. I hope someone is taking names and notes. Oh! Camilla Harris says, politicians clap, should clap, not clap, tell, clap, women, you have the idea, what to do with their bodies. It's not their bodies. It's not their bodies.
Wow.
It's not their bodies.
What about the female? At least the female babies should not be aborted. You know what I'm saying? Under their theories, I'll go, at least it'll save half, right? I'll go with you. Let's take it. At the very least, let's let the women who are having little women inside their bodies, let's let the little women decide if they want to live or not. We could get halfway with that.
Alicia, Bernie Sanders didn't like the we are born free and stay free. And we will stay free.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? It's just, I'm glad that other people saw who did this, who put them all in.
I know they did that. Oh, that's so great. Here's with the papers. Here is with the papers. I'm so triggered right now. Wait, what does that say? You scroll back down. She's reading her speech. If Pelosi won't take time to listen to the president, you know darn well she isn't listening to the United States. Good. Oh my goodness.
Jack Pacific, Trump showed up for both the base and the independents tonight. The left will be wise not to attack this speech too hard, but they will anyway. Wow, that is quite a message. Democrats, including all those women in white, sit motionless at the call to restrict late-term abortion, which polls show 70 to 80% of the public disapproves of. Who is out of step with the country?
Well said. Dale says, the Dems want to replace God for one reason. Without God, our rights would be granted by the state, which is what we don't want.
Dave Rubin had said during the abortion moment, stopping late-term abortions where the child can feel pain, they sat down real quick.
That's who grabbed that picture?
That was in the beginning where she really tried to, I don't know. Yeah. So, all right. This has been fun. We're going to see tons of tweets all night long going on. I'm sure of it.
Oh my gosh. What is this?
Donald Trump Jr. says Juarez, Mexico had 773 murders in 2017 directly across the border. El Paso, Texas had only 19. The only thing separating them is a wall because walls work.
Yep.
So, current mood. Ocasio-Cortez. She had to sit through that. That was always fun. I haven't seen so many Democrats dressed in white since Republicans freed their slaves. They really shouldn't wear white.
They should not wear white. Not all together. You know what I mean? If you're going to show up as like one person, but as a group, why not pick like pink as your color? You know?
State of the Union line of the night. President Trump to Che Guevara, Cortez, and Bolshevik Bernie and Red Camilla. America will never be a socialist country. Just forget about it.
Hot dog.
Just forget about it. Women applauding women jobs, low black and Hispanic unemployment, not so much.
So Thomas on Facebook Live says the best speech ever since Reagan.
America was founded on liberty and independence, not government coercion, domination, control. We are born free and will stay free. Chants of USA, USA. Tonight we renew our resolve that America will never be a socialist country. This has just been awesome. And then Genius, unbelievable, who thought Trump would get the Democrats chanting USA? We talked about that.
Was so awesome. They're going to be embarrassed afterwards, and they'll have to like step it back a little bit, but then they're like, no, we have to stand with it, and this is why we did it. We weren't cheering for the president. We were cheering for ourselves. But then, wait a minute, that makes us look selfish. How can we spin it? Like, we were cheering for all women, except for while we were cheering for all women, we were, like, kind of pointing at ourselves and pointing at each other and pointing at ourselves some more. So I don't know how we're going to...
And then Stacey Abrams, the woman who lost the governor race in Georgia, is the one giving the Democrat response.
Unbelievable. Not going to watch it. Cannot. You guys can find somebody else to cover that for you.
All right.
We need to sign off.
We will. It's 11 o'clock.
What?
11 o'clock.
Holy... How long was that thing? An hour and a half? Something like that?
Yeah, it was an hour and a half.
Okay. Well, that was rather entertaining. I enjoyed every bit of it.
Dog's gotta go
Even
out.
at the end, when Leah was thinking it was kind of getting a little, snooze-worthy. But, never a socialist country. That made Pelosi mad, Mike says. Gary says, was hoping Trump would send in the U.S. Marshals after the speech. Dale says, Maxine Waters wanted people not to watch Trump give the State of the Union. I bet more people watch the State of the Union than will end up watching the rebuttal. Absolutely. Oh, my goodness. Oh, that was really, really fun. So, by the way, I'm glad that you're here because on Sunday, I told you all it would be on Wednesday. I don't know why I had the 6th in my head, but many of you afterwards in the chat were like, no, it's Tuesday. So glad you guys made it. We're going to see you back on Friday for a weekly roundup, where we'll probably cover some more of this speech and reiterate it for those that missed the highlights, because it was so great. I can't wait to watch Tucker tomorrow after this. I think it's going to be awesome. Oh, shoot. I just brought up... Wait, no, I don't want you. Adeline says, I would think this was the most watched State of the Union in history. I don't know. It definitely could have been.
There. So it's definitely up there.
Okay.
All right, guys.
We love you.
Do you have a P.O. box? Did you give that?
Yeah, 107 Milford, Ohio 45150. If you want to send us your letters, we will read them on air unless otherwise stated. If you don't want it read on air, write in big letters. Don't read on air. Okay? So 6 o'clock Friday, Eastern Standard Time. Sunday, Eastern Standard Time at 1. For sure on Sunday, we will be in the new studio. Hopefully by Friday. Mike says, I was watching on Yahoo, but then thought you guys might be live. I'm glad that you made it. Alan says, I was just thinking the same thing. Watch Tucker. Did you just really?
Yeah, I did.
Adeline, good point. Are you going to have a stream later on Resistance Chicks? I'll be there. Yes. I will, as soon as this finishes processing, I think I'm going to do it tonight. As soon as it finishes processing, I'll premiere it on Resistance Chicks. I know it'll be late, but for anybody else that wants to watch it, that's when it'll premiere. And so the live chat will be there if you guys are just now joining us or whatever. Craig says, I am ham. I want my post on air. Well, good job. You got that one on. So, I feel like there's something I'm missing, but it's not. We're really going to go.
We love you.
God loves you. God bless.
God bless America. And God bless Donald Trump.
Exactly. Patriot Gallery says that she will be in the chat on the Resistance Chick stream later.
Awesome.
So thank you, Patriot Gallery. And Dale, if you sent these hats,
thank you.
Thank you. And
love
Kim,
them.
if you're watching this, we didn't get the hats from your dad then. But we love these hats. I was wearing it all day today. And then when we went on the other side of town, I did take it off for one store that we went in. I don't want to upset anybody on purpose. It's not my, I don't really want to do that.
This side of town, we're pretty good wearing the Trump hats. I get some old women coming up telling me thank you for wearing that hat.
I feel like, I'm going to be honest, I feel like when I do wear it, I'm extra chipper with people.
I am.
Like, I'm just the nicest person you ever met. And I shouldn't. It's so ridiculous. It's just a hat. All right, you guys. Good night. God bless.
I was called